watch both Dunes, Dune 1 and 2 tonight.
No, because we want to talk about Wizard of Oz. I think we're going to watch Wizard of Oz and then one of the Dunes.
We're going to watch both Dunes tonight, 1 and 2. That's what I said when I woke up this morning. That is
That's
what
fine,
we
but
agreed
we
on.
cannot talk about Wizard of Oz until we watch Wizard of Oz. So we're going to watch one Wizard of Oz and one Dune.
Bethany
And
Sean.
We
are a couple of nuts talking.
We are going to watch Dune 1 and Dune 2. End of story.
But then we're not going to be able to talk about Wizard of Oz.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear us talk about the Wizard of Oz, honey.
Do you know what they want to hear? Is the dish that I have on it.
Oh,
yes,
God.
they do.
Nuts.
And now they have to wait.
What
till
up,
next episode.
Nuts? Can we at least say hi to our fellow Nuts, please?
Hi, Nuts.
Hey, Nuts. We're a couple of Nuts. And
You're a
you
bowl of nuts.
are a big old bunch of lovely lover
Salty,
nuts.
but in a good way, not a mean way.
Oh, my God. We love when you listen to us, and we can't thank you enough for listening to us.
Yeah, but you know what we'd love to thank you more for? Is sharing it and posting about it and commenting and liking and subscribing.
Yeah.
We would love that, guys.
Or on Facebook and Instagram. We really need to get more active on that.
Yeah, we're not good with that stuff.
No,
I can't wait till we can hire somebody. Look, if someone who's listening to us just loves us, you know, when we start making money, you'll start making money. But if you want to help us in any way, we'll take it because we don't know anything. Or if you got some advice,
Please help.
comment, hey, post here or do that. We have no idea.
Please help.
We just enjoy doing this.
I'm already running like 8 social media accounts for us. So.
Yes, he's a king. He's doing great.
I'm exhausted.
And
from it.
I'm going to buy you more of those things, those shots.
Oh, from last episode.
Yeah.
Nootropics.
Mhm,
Yum,
so you
yum.
get your ass going.
I'm kind of still feeling it for like a week later.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Anyways, yeah. We do want to go down the rabbit hole of the Wizard of Oz, if you guys are familiar with it. We're not going to do that today. I don't even know why I just brought it back up.
What did you say? I missed it.
Doesn't matter because we're not going to talk about it. What do you got, baby? What's going on? How's everything? What do you got? What's new?
I cry during
Oh, God.
the
What is
the
happening?
Great British Bake Off.
You cry during the Great British Bake Off, the television
television
series, the
series.
competition cooking show, the Great British
Yeah.
Bake Off, and you
Do
cry.
I cry because you know why? It's beautiful. And I don't mean like the competition or anything. Wherever they're shooting,
Oh, God, the scenery
the
is
feel
nice.
of it, like I love the old countries.
Yeah.
I love how it feels old. And the whole time I'm watching, I don't give a crap about cupcakes. I don't care about your fucking biscuits. I'll eat them. But I don't care. What I love looking, it's so green and so lovely and their little accents. And I'm just like, this is just and the music is epic.
You know what's weird is when you say that, I close my eyes and I go back and I see this commercial from my childhood, a Cabbage Patch Kid commercial. And I just remember always wanting
To cry?
No, I wanted to always live where it was. It was this big, it was a big field, big, beautiful green field. And like in the distance, it looked like, I don't think it was corn, but it was tall.
You are
green.
freaking me out right now.
It was tall green stuff growing in the background, and it was like level, flat land, but green, and then tall stuff in the distance. And I always wanted to fuck. The sun was shining
Wait, you always
beautifully.
wanna fuck it?
I always wanted to fuck those Cabbage Patch. No, I always wanted to live there, babe.
Can I tell you
I'm trying to
something?
think. Did I fuck my Cabbage Patch Kid? Because I had one.
You've told me stories about how much different kind of stuff you
I remember the skin, the head of it smelling vanilla-y. No, it smelled like a scent.
Like plastic.
Plastic, but it
like plastic sweetness.
like sweet plastic.
Like a cupcake.
Yeah.
A plastic cupcake.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But
With a hint of baby powder.
Yeah, maybe.
No?
I don't remember the baby powder. But listen. Here, I'm about to trip you up. Now, let me tell you, folks.
Are we going to talk about Cabbage Patch Kids
yes, we
today?
are.
Okay.
Hold on. A couple of nuts, whether you've caught on or not,
Dang,
we have,
Patch Kids.
and don't think this wasn't on purpose. We're called Acon because we like conspiracies.
Oh,
Okay?
shit.
Sean didn't even know we were going there. I didn't know we were going to go there. I didn't know you were going to bring up Cabbage Patch Kids.
Here's the deal.
Hold on. Okay.
Here's the deal.
We haven't even dropped the deuce yet.
Here's the deal. We love a good conspiracy theory. We don't talk about
I don't
it much.
like saying theory anymore.
Whatever. The truth or it's truth.
We're
It's fact because it
truthers.
turns into the truth.
Yeah.
We don't say it, or we haven't over, what is this, episode 50?
something.
Happy 50th episode, couple
Oh,
of nuts.
We are half a cent.
Has anybody been here since the beginning?
Give us a shout out if you've been here since the beginning. But even if you hadn't, go back to the first one and listen up because you'll see and hear us evolve. Because
But
we've
we're-
evolved.
You know, a little, I'll speak for myself, I guess, but, you know, we don't want to talk about that kind of stuff because I feel like it kind of goes down the same road as religion or politics. It can either make people real mad or you know, we don't want to make anybody mad, and we can't make you feel anything,
We can't
actually.
make you feel anything.
But we are living in the rabbit hole, friends, and we have been for quite some time now.
We're going on 5, 6, how many years?
I think a little before the pandemic.
Yeah. So-
A couple years before the
I
pandemic.
think it's 5 or 6 years.
We
6.
started going down rabbit holes, and
We
we've been in
We
it.
definitely, eventually, maybe on our 100th or sooner, we'll go through the first year because the first year was trippy because
Yeah.
we kept finding one thing and going to the other. And then during COVID, it was like we had all the time in the world and we were losing our shit. We thought Ellen was coming to visit us it was crazy. Okay, that's a story. All right. Cabbage Patch Kids. Listen, that sounded like an edit. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So, listen. Look, we just
Were you laughing at the face I was making?
no. I
Oh,
was
okay.
laughing at just how in sync we
Oh,
were, and you were being a little sideways. Okay, so listen. There is some stuff coming out. Okay. And there are old postcards. Now, one of the things that I don't know if you know about Sean and I's other business, we have something called Cryptiques Vintage, which is we collect oddities and haunted items and a lot of vintage Halloween, all vintage holiday, things like funeral, old antique funeral instruments, doctors, just anything kind of creepy, weird, whatever. So Sean, in doing that, also collects postcards.
Yeah.
And in the postcard world, especially when you get to 1900 and earlier, so 1800s.
I'll tell you right now, really
1900s.
quick.
Yeah.
Postcards were the first way of celebrating things, holidays, birthdays, like Halloween. One of the earliest ways of celebrating Halloween back in the day, and it was more of an adult holiday, were through postcards. Same with Christmas, same with New Year's. You would send family members and friends postcards with a little illustration or a picture on it.
Like all the time. That was like the thing to do.
That was the thing to do.
It was a thing to do. Okay, because that's far in a past now. I think people need to get back into that tradition because there's something about writing with your hand, which is a direct connection to your heart and connecting to people through a letter. Anyways, the Cabbage Patch, the reason why this is going to link and you'll see, is in these late 1800, early 1900 postcards, you will see a plethora of Cabbage Patch Kids. And obviously it's before the Cabbage Patch Kid doll.
Cabbage Patch doll in 1982 is when those hit.
Right. So you have to think 100 years earlier. Now, and I think there's a reason it's 100 years because things have to
Well,
be.
the Cabbage Patch doll is based off something called the Little People, and I'm trying to find out what that is, what the Little People is.
Well, I'm going to tell you where the Cabbage Patch originally
They were
started.
inspired by the Little People. Okay.
I think that's going to be a lie, babe, because
I mean, it's Wikipedia, so
Yeah,
yeah, it probably
yeah.
is. But
So-
there's really, keep going. There's some stuff that I do want to read
Yeah,
down
yeah.
on here.
so in those early, in late 1800s and early 1900, there were a surge of orphans. What?
Just a little thing. This is for entertainment purposes only,
Always
friends.
entertainment.
Just so you know, okay?
Mhm.
Just that. Okay.
Just always entertainment. We're just having fun. We're just talking about stuff that we don't know.
We're just riffing.
We're just riffing. But there are postcards of Cabbage Patch Kid pictures, but the kids are real. They're not dolls, and they're shown and depicted in gardens as cabbage grows, and their heads are the cabbage, like the bulbous part of the cabbage.
Right.
And they show, there's also a video.
There's videos. There's
There's
old
it's
movies.
one of the first movies ever made. I think it was the first movie.
They're picking little babies out of
They're
cabbage.
picking real
cabbages.
live, like newborn babies out of a cabbage patch, sometimes just by yanking their arm up.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they're very
They're
violent
very
with the
violent with the
when they
babies.
let
And
them
it's a
out.
lady, and she's walking around. And now what they say is there was not enough people in America, so they were manufacturing children, however it was, and they were saying that they were growing them. Like they were help me with the word. What's that word when they're incubated? Like
That's it.
yeah, like incubating these children and then showing them in postcards with different pictures, and you could come and buy a kid.
What were they growing them from, though? Do they ever touch
Well,
on that in the
Yes, they
theories?
do, but I feel like that's too much for here
Okay.
right now. But so then they made postcards as in like flyers, guys. Like flyers to tell adult humans, "Hey, we got some babies here if you want to make this place more populated." And then they would put them on trains, all right? And they would ship them on trains to whatever different cities they needed. And then the parents would come and be new parents because they have orphan kids. Now, they have videos of this. They have hundreds of postcards saying, "Come get your babies." Like, that's weird. And then almost 100 years later to come out with actual dolls called Cabbage Patch Kids. And they named them. They had like their birth dates, and they had their where they were birthed.
They not only-
and
yeah.
I use that with quotes.
Not
on
only
either side.
that, they came with birth certificates
Yep.
and
Mhm.
adoption papers.
Right. I'm saying just like the doll.
What the
So if that's not a big FU in our face, in other words, it's like, here, we'll show you the truth, but we'll do it in a way where it just looks fun and not a big deal, and no one will look into it. See, that's the thing. You guys have to start researching and looking into
Jesus.
everything. Like, it's
We got to look at the
crazy.
guy that created the Cabbage Patch. He's a 21-year-old guy.
He's someone's son who probably was involved.
Let's see.
Because 21 in the 80s means he was born in the 60-ish, right?
Yeah, great
If it was
question.
82 that it was created, he was 21. That means in 61 he was born, which means his parents were possibly early 1900s.
They were inspired by the Little People soft sculptured dolls
Or I'm
sold
sorry,
by
grandparents.
Xavier Roberts as collectibles. The brand was renamed Cabbage Patch Kids by Roger Schlafer
Now
when he
that's
acquired.
the one.
Yeah, acquired exclusive worldwide licensing rights in 1982.
Look up Robert Schlafer.
I will, but this is weird, okay? According to court records, Roberts, the first guy that created him, a 21-year-old art student at a missionary school in North Georgia, discovered craft artist Martha Nelson's doll babies. They came with a birth certificate and adoption papers. With the help of artist Debbie Moorhead, he hand-stitched dolls called the Little People.
That's what he originally called
Right,
it.
that's what they were called. Roberts modified the look of Nelson's dolls, birth certificate and adoption papers sufficiently to get a copyright, and told potential customers his Little People were not for sale. However, they could be adopted for prices ranging from $60 to $1,000.
Right, so that's exactly how the system worked earlier. That's what I'm telling you. It wasn't like you were buying a baby, you were buying the adoption privileges.
Listen, the Little People were first sold at arts and crafts shows, then later at Babyland General Hospital, an old medical clinic. He started
What?
selling them at medical.
Is that for people who lost their children so it would feel like they had
Were they
one?
still selling real fucking kids in the 80s?
Honey, they
That's
are
what I'm
still
saying.
selling just for entertainment purposes.
Oh my
We don't know,
God.
but they are still selling children.
What in the fuck is going on? But I do remember that commercial, and I do remember having a Cabbage Patch doll and the smell of that head.
Will you please, we already talked about that. Will you please look up the Schlafer guy?
Oh, Robert Schlafer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can. Roger Schlafer. Roger Schlafer, born February 23rd, 1945. Yeah, it's close.
Mm-hmm.
An American graphic designer, writer, inventor, and licensing agent.
In 1925, you said? he was born?
1945.
45.
And he's known for the Cabbage Patch dolls and licensing of Andy Warhol's art.
Okay, so he's in it. He's in the system.
He grew up in Washington, D.C.
Oh, he's definitely in the system. So he was privy to the knowledge of what went on and was probably like, this is perfect.
He's still alive.
Awesome.
79 years old. Probably rich as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't say much
Of course it
about
doesn't.
him.
Of course it doesn't.
That's all he did.
That's all he had to do. He's probably selling kids on the side just for entertainment purposes. I'm joking. I'm a comic. I get to say whatever I want because I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But crazy when you find these postcards. So Sean and I are going to start looking for more of these postcards.
Yeah, the Cabbage Patch
they're so dope
postcards
looking.
are really weird, and there's you could probably on YouTube watch
you
those
can totally
videos.
see some, yeah. But we're going to start doing more of these trippy things that...
Do that. Search real life Cabbage Patch Kids.
Maybe we could put it on our Instagram when this comes out.
Yeah, that's too much work. You could do that.
No, I won't
Search that
remember.
out, nuts, and check it out, and take it with a grain of salt. Think what you will. It's interesting nonetheless. Interesting theories. Pretty wild stuff. I try to wonder, how are they growing children from the soil?
Well,
But they also
I think that's what they want you to think it is. But they also have pictures on postcards of the incubators.
Well, isn't there also like a saying at funerals, like you're given back to the earth, like your body,
Ashes
your
to
corpse?
ashes, dust to dust. You're back to earth. That's a must. I don't know.
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's the thing. So they're saying we come from the ground. Oh, weird stuff. That's Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what we.
pretty cool though. Also, and then look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Even though they're not gonna be able to see it.
No, they're not.
But this is one of the exact things I'm talking about. Look at that.
Look at all those babies coming out of cabbages.
Real babies' heads coming out of
The
cabbages.
cabbage babies. Is that
in
a book?
Garden.
That's a book?
No, it's a postcard. It's a whole bunch of postcards of this. It's a book.
Why don't you order that? Put that in the basket. Let's order that shit.
Okay. Well, no, because we can't. We want to buy the originals.
Oh, well, we can just return the book after we look at it. And
Oh,
see
okay.
what we're
Yeah,
looking
let's
for.
do that
Yeah.
for sure. But we're just pretending to do that. We don't buy things to just return it.
No, we don't.
Um,
But Amazon makes it very easy to do that.
because sometimes you don't know. Oh my God, $52
Okay, never mind.
for the book.
Scratch that. We don't need that
That's
fucking book.
dumb doo-doo head stuff. Like, I can't with you. But it says, this is what it's called. The Cabbage Babies Repopulation Postcards. And the first movie ever made. I was right. And the first movie ever made.
There you go.
It's this lady yanking newborn babies out of the earth.
Right out the ground.
With cabbage leaves all over them, and they're naked.
Right out the ground, nuts.
And she's talking to the camera like, do you want to buy one? Does this one look good? Yanks it up by the arm. How does this one fare?
Yeah.
How is it? It's like weird.
Yeah.
And then just plops it down. Remember? Oh my God. There's so it's a garden on either side of her, a little tiny pathway down the middle, which she walks down to yank them out. And then one of the babies, remember how long she's holding that one baby?
Oh, yeah, by the leg.
By the leg. Upside down, guys.
Yeah.
And then just plops it into the
Throws
middle
it
of
down.
the path. Kind of not, by the way, doesn't let it touch the ground first and drop it. Just fucking plops it down.
Just like a farm when you're going
farm,
through and
yeah.
picking shit and throwing it in the
Looking at
baskets.
the corn,
God.
they just rip the
God.
corn and then throw it back in the field. Crazy. Like, they have so many, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what is also trippy, babe, is we might be one of those incubated babies.
I mean,
From that
Yeah.
that gene pool.
yeah.
We don't know.
That is weird because I did ask my dad for my birth certificate and I got it. And it's like a newer one from like 2007 or something
That is
like that.
very
Had a
weird.
2007 stamp on it.
What? What did your
maybe
dad
they lost
do?
my original birth certificate.
That's probably what happened. Did you try and get a what's that thing? Passport?
Why did they
But
get?
wha-
You want to know what? That's when I went on
You-
tour and stuff like that in
Wait.
2007. Why
Right. So
he-
did you get a passport and not have your birth certificate?
I had to get a passport for touring. So yeah.
So I'm saying maybe you did already know you lost it, and then you needed to get a new birth certificate so you
Maybe.
could kid it.
maybe.
But the point is where is
Or
yours?
maybe they took a life insurance policy out of me. 'Cause That's when I
That's-
started touring and getting into drugs.
Yeah. Wow, that's so sad. If that's the truth.
Oh my! I would have to sign that though, right?
Honey, you would have been high and they would have got you to sign anything. Why don't you ask your dad? Text him right now before you
I'm
forget.
not going to do that. That's going to
Honey,
open up a
that
can of
is-
worms that
It's
I
not a
don't want
can
to
of
deal
worms.
with.
It's not a can of worms when something's out with your name on it.
Well, you're going to get my death certificate, honey. So if he starts to ask, if I die before my dad and he's asking for my death certificate, then there's something afoot and you just don't give him my death certificate. Plain and simple.
No, honey. We crack this code now and don't talk about you dying.
Honey,
I can't.
I don't know, but I don't want to think that
Come
my
here, you have a
family took
booger and I
life
can't stop
insurance,
staring at
life
it.
insurance
I just,
policy
I
on it.
can't.
Get it out.
It's
Yeah, I
really-
got
it's
so many
really
crusties.
entangled
That
into your
tickles.
hair.
That tickles. Okay, so Cabbage Patch Kids,
No,
death
you're glossing
certificate.
over this shit.
I know, and I want to move on from it. So Cabbage Patch Kids is a fucking conspiracy theory that you can look into,
Well,
friends.
but is
believe
it
it
a
or
theory?
not.
Stop saying theory. I dropped the theory.
That's
We're
what
truthers.
people know. It's just
And even though
it's,
this is for entertainment purposes, these are real postcards
it's
from the
language for
freaking
people to hear and understand, honey. You
honey,
can't say just,
over 100 years ago. These postcards existed. Right now, someone's doing laundry and it's just
Yeah,
wafting
I
up here. It's
know.
just disgusting, toxic
Yeah.
chemicals.
Let's move on.
Can we talk about another conspiracy while we're here?
Go
Or no,
for
you
it.
want to just see what happens?
No. Go for it. What you got?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
I was just saying,
I'd
like,
actually like to be a little more prepared for that type of stuff. If we're going to crack into that type of shit,
maybe
I
we'll
think we
do-
should be more prepared.
Well, I just like talking about stuff.
Like we're going to watch Wizard of Oz, and then we're going to have
gonna
some
go into
stuff
that.
to read.
I cannot
but,
wait. It's so dope.
But I'm excited to watch Dune 2 tonight, I'll tell you that much. Oh, yeah, so we, last
I
episode,
read the book.
we talked about the casino and stuff like that. We get offered free concert tickets to go to the casino.
Oh, yeah.
And we got offered Stevie Nicks tickets. She was one of the front woman of Fleetwood Mac, I guess.
Yeah, Kurt and Christina, but yeah.
And we didn't go. We got offered free tickets and we didn't go. It didn't fit into our schedule,
Mm-mm.
which I thought was interesting.
It is interesting because I love Stevie Nicks. I love
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, God, yeah.
I love Lindsay the best, and then Fleetwood and Stevie, and then
I don't want to watch Stevie without Lindsay.
I don't. To me,
I just don't.
Lindsay is everything.
He's the one.
He's everything.
And they bring it out of each other, too. So to see that
do.
live would be... To see her
Epic.
without him, it doesn't feel real. It feels
Yeah.
forced. It feels like staged. Because since we were going to go see her, I started looking up stuff of Stevie solo and how she's looking these days. So she started popping up in my TikTok feed and all this
Mhm.
shit. And then like stories about her started popping up. I mean, I had no idea the type of person that she was.
She was a little twat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I told you that. That's why I don't really like her.
So she cheated on Lindsay
Oh yeah,
with Mick Fleetwood.
With Fleetwood, yeah.
Okay. That fucking ruined Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
She ruined
Yes,
Fleetwood Mac. That being said, of course, the drugs and all of that had a lot to do with it.
but
But
it's not. You can't keep excusing your behavior because
No.
of drugs. Because by the way, they kept it going.
yeah,
they kept
did.
it going, and both of them were miserable.
She,
Meaning Fleetwood and her.
yeah.
But it was like you do something that big, you probably feel locked in to have to stay there.
She ruined the band. And Fleetwood
And
Mac was a band.
Lindsay
before-
was devastated. I mean, just listen to what he wrote. Those bangers. I mean, by the way, though, what are you doing to yourself? Stop. He's pushing.
Before the
and
girls
smearing
entered
his
the
eyes.
band, Fleetwood Mac had a few albums already.
Yeah.
And then they entered, and then
Yeah, and Lindsay, and I think Stevie really, because Lindsay was such an advocate. So they started dating. He's the one who got her in the band. And he also was her greatest advocate as far as like getting her in singing on other things and telling people how great
well,
she
she
is.
was kind of like
Oh.
before. I think she was kind of like the Courtney Love.
Yeah,
Like how
she
Courtney was just
boning-
hanging around rock stars trying to get with one while she was doing
She
music
just
herself.
wanted to be a rock star.
Stevie did that. She was dating and living with that one guy that owns him and Dr. Dre own fucking Atlantic Records. What the fuck is his name?
Hold on. I see him.
Steve.
Iovine. Jimmy Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine. She was with Jimmy Iovine. Iovine was working with Tom Petty, and then
Everybody.
he's like, hey, you got to check out this chick. And then Stevie sang on that one Tom Petty song that's huge.
Because of Jimmy.
But I also didn't know this, that she had a best friend who was sick with cancer,
Mm.
and her best and she was best friends with the woman and the man.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman became
Throuple.
the woman became pregnant, went into remission, had the baby, but then the cancer came back like right away after
Well, yeah,
having.
because you're the healthiest you can be when you're pregnant.
Right. So after she had the baby, cancer came back. She died months later.
Oh,
But I guess she had told Stevie, to look out for the kid and the husband. So Stevie takes that as, oh, I'm going to marry this
Right.
guy. And then she married her best friend's,
wow.
her dead best friend's fucking
And just kind of swooped in the family and became the mom and the wife.
widower. Was it a widower? Is that what men are?
Yeah, he's a widow.
The woman's a widow.
Yeah, they're both widows.
They are?
I think so.
So Stevie marries the fucking widow. And then, it didn't work.
Of
It was
course
awful.
It doesn't work.
It was awful. And she's like, all she could think about was her friend. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Stevie Nicks?
How does that sound like a good idea? How does that sound? Because, honey, those people like Stevie Nicks, if you're that heavy into drugs, you're doing that much kind of chaotic decision making.
Man,
You're just scared to be alone. You're
I'm glad we didn't go see her live.
I'm telling you, I didn't want to support that.
She's got bad vibes. I love
Yeah.
those songs, though. Don't get me wrong.
I love her voice.
Man.
I mean, I think she's fantastic. She dances now a little weird.
Oh, she looks like a crazy
She's
person.
like a
She's trying to do the
animatronic.
same twirly
She looks
things.
like those things when you go to the pizza places for kids. It's the
Yeah.
animatronic, but when it goes awry and it won't stop moving and it just bop, 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 like
I
that.
feel like she's gonna die soon.
That's what I thought. Sean, when you started, you were like, wow, Stevie's coming up a whole bunch. Don't you remember I
Yeah.
said she's probably going to die?
Did you say that? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Because I said, this is all too much.
Yeah.
Like she's really pushing out there trying to get as much money,
Yeah.
as much probably for her family, whatever.
Yeah, I think she's maybe on her way out. That's why she's doing a little farewell.
Yeah, exactly.
Tour? I don't know.
I don't know, or just trying to make as much money as she can her last whatever years. Because a lot of, look, I mean, I could go down a conspiracy again.
A Stevie Nicks conspiracy?
Well,
or just a
conspiracy,
musical artist?
A musical artist, because she's definitely in the dark arts.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They
And-
call her the White Witch.
Right. And so, we don't know. She could be just for entertainment purposes only. Who knows? But like maybe there's some sort of signage that happened or something.
Hold on, I look up really
that
quick. Stevie
occurred.
Nicks Witch.
But either way, I think that I feel like when older, and I'm talking like 70 plus, start touring. Like look at Tom Petty, right? Tom Petty was on his huge tour when all that happened. And Chris Cornell, even though he wasn't in his 70s. But, like, I feel like there's something about it.
Though she has never claimed to be a practitioner of the dark arts, in the minds of most of the world, Nicks is a witch, and it can all be traced back to the 1976 release of Rhiannon. The track appeared on Fleetwood Mac's self-titled record and has become one of Nicks' signature songs.
Oh, it's after
Why,
verse.
though?
Right. Let's look up the lyrics.
What is the story behind Rhiannon? Shortly after writing her hit mystical song, Nicks discovered the Welsh mythology behind Rhiannon, further following her to connect on a spiritual level the magical character. In the myth, Queen Rhiannon rejects a god in favor of a mortal man.
Mm.
Okay.
It
Huh.
says, Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her? Takes to the sky like a bird in flight, and who will be her lover? All your life you've never seen woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? She's like a cat in the dark, and then she is to darkness. She rules her life like a fine skylark, and when the sky is starless. All your life you've never seen women taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win? Let's see if any of these change. No. And then Rhiannon, dreams unwind, loves a state of mind. Dreams unwind, loves a state of mind. And she's taken by the sky.
Yeah. Fucking great fucking song.
It is a great song. But
yeah.
but and then it just makes me think of Rihanna. Is that a singer? That's that rapper, right? Rihanna
Yeah.
or Rhiannon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I I do equate her to that as well. I mean, the way she dressed and the way she talked and the song she sang, all that kind of
She
stuff.
loves Halloween.
She loves Halloween, which we love her for loving Halloween.
She loves haunting and haunted melodies, she said. Oh, whatever. We didn't go fucking see you, Stevie, because you ain't nothing without Lindsey Buckingham. Looking out for love.
But
in
you
the
know
light
what?
so still. Big love. Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night, 1985 or 6. Check that coked out 80s Fleetwood Mac is the best Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fluctuate
Well,
from the
just so you
70s
know,
Fleetwood
people-
Mac to the 80s Fleetwood Mac. There's even some bangers on some 90s Fleetwood
hell
Mac.
yeah. But just so you know, people who love Stevie Nicks are going to tell you that Lindsay beat her, which
I don't believe it.
I know there's no receipts, but the only receipt that they have is like
He's so tiny.
he threw but I guess he threw his guitar at her, but I don't think it hit her. But
That's understandable.
and then I think he kicked her on stage at one point. But know this, and I'm not look, neither of it's okay. None of it should be that. But she also cheated on him with the fucking guy playing drums behind him.
Yeah.
And then she also beat him.
Oh, I'm sure she's
And
like totally
she's-
got that. It's just
Oh, yeah,
like
she's a
this
cokehead.
now, an alcoholic and a cokehead. Stevie
Yeah.
Nicks.
And they were just passionate.
I wonder if she's sober.
I mean, she'd have to be, wouldn't she? How could you
should be
be
dead,
at
huh?
70s on coke?
There's some people. Keith
and
Richards.
she's still talking about it, though. She's talking about it as if it's her past, so I hope so. But who knows?
Supposedly Keith Richards is still strung out on heroin.
I
If he
think
ever stopped,
Keith
he would
yes,
die.
I think so. You know,
That's
what's-
just a rumor, though.
Well, I mean, he would need help to stop if he is still.
He's so
doing
old
it.
now, his body wouldn't be able to handle kicking heroin.
Oh, he's heroin. I thought he was alcohol too.
I thought he was a heroin addict.
I thought he. Let's look it up.
No.
Yeah, but I think he's either both or I thought he was definitely.
I'm sure
alcohol.
I'm sure he's everything.
Let's see.
Crazy.
Wait,
We
who
don't-
am I just.
Keith Richards, but why don't we save that for another time and just kind of wrap it up on this one? Because we
Okay.
went from Cabbage Patch Dolls to Stevie Nicks and another banger episode of A Couple of Nuts Talking, friends. Thank you so much for listening to us yet again.
Oh, just to clear it up, he's a consumer of heroin, cocaine, mescaline, LSD, peyote, Madrix,
Right.
Tuinol, marijuana, bourbon, and whiskey.
He's my kind of guy.
He's the
He's my
I'll
kinda
take
guy.
anything.
And he's probably still taking all of those things. And if he ever stopped, he would die. His body would just be like, what the fuck? Ah, done.
Yeah, I bet you
into
it's why
dust.
he's living so long.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's like my grandfather. Once he
He
you
gets
know,
that clean heroin. Make sure they tested no fentanyl, no fetty in that hair. Damn,
probably
nuts.
got a drug dealer who just deals to him.
I feel like we could do a whole episode on Keith Richards.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could if we did the research, but do I care? Not so much.
Anyways.
Yeah.
A lot of fun hanging out with you guys for a little bit of time. Thanks for letting us into your lives.
Yeah.
ACON Podcast
Hold on.
on Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to leave reviews on Apple and Spotify and all the other platforms you listen to us on. There's other platforms people listen to us on.
Good.
I don't even know what they are.
You're acting surprised. I'm not.
No, I'm not surprised that they're listening to us because we're amazing. I'm surprised that there's other platforms. I thought it was just a monopoly. Apple, Spotify.
Oh, I
That's
see what
it.
you're saying. Yeah. Well, just real quick, if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, comment, DM us, share, because we will, especially if it's conspiracies, because I guarantee you we have already dabbled in it and we'll be able to talk about it.
I think I can leave a thing here on.
Oh, do
I
it.
can leave a question on the.
Let's
So
leave
look
a
for that.
question from now on
Look for
every
that.
episode.
Look for that somewhere.
Yeah, talk to us because we want to give it to you. We want to give you whatever you want.
All right, nuts. Until next time. Bye.
Stay. Oh,
Bye for now.
stay nutty, everybody.
Kimses.
We're so cute.
Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking.